Earlier this week I made a series of 4 videos about my wife's DUIs, the 4 DUIs that she got back when she was alive. And a lot of people had questions, specifically about what happened, what was the follow-up, what happened, did she serve time or she didn't serve enough time, or what was really the end result. And California, I think they have a good system. I mean, it's lacking in certain areas, but I think it's important to understand that after her second DUI, she did get a year, but she only served 55 days, and then she was on probation, and then they put her underneath house arrest for 6 months. And I don't think house arrest, certainly the way California does it, is particularly helpful to the person, because you're actually isolating the person. And they can leave during the day. She didn't have to really check in until 3 in the afternoon, even with an ankle bracelet, because the idea behind that is that you have a job. But if you don't have a job, you can still leave and get alcohol, come back at night and prepare yourself for your evening of drinking. Not particularly effective, I thought. I thought if you're under house arrest, you should be under house arrest for 24/7, and that just simply wasn't the case. Now, after her third and fourth DUI, I actually really begged the lawyer to, make sure she got a year incarceration, and she actually did. She did get a year, which would have been appropriate because she got her third and fourth DUI really the same month. So she was really getting out of hand. And if you've watched them, you can review those. But again, she was only kept in for 65 days, even though she got a year, because of overcrowding. And then they gave her the same type of thing. They gave her probation and then 6 months under house arrest. And they did check her a couple times. And I'll make videos about what the police did when they came in. It was more painful for my son and I than it was for my wife, I think. And I don't think it was any particularly effective. I believe the 65 days helped her, but my goal was really to separate from the alcohol. And I think a year may have been the saving grace for her. As horrible as that sounds, it may have saved her life if she had been separated for a year. And I think it would have been, she was a case where that might have actually helped her. And you have to do last ditch efforts. And for people who don't understand that, families go through a lot, and sometimes there's no other options for the alcoholic other than to be separated from the alcohol, either voluntarily or involuntarily. Then there's other states that are a little bit harsher, like Texas, for example. I mean, after two DUIs, they incarcerate you for a number of years, like 2-3 years. Which I don't think that's particularly effective either, because it's a mental health illness, and just putting people into a correctional facility is not going to correct the problem. It's not going to help society, because they're still going to have the same mental illness when they get out, and they could just as easily repeat the same activities. It has to be, the mental illness has to be worked on, and it has to be worked on through counseling, through group therapy, all these types of things. In fact, my wife also got court-ordered outpatient therapy. It was a wonderful place. She had to go up there between 6 and 8 hours a day, and she was there for about 6 months. Unfortunately, on her way home, even being under house arrest, she would buy a 30-pack of, I think she was drinking Coors Light at that time, and probably drink 12 of them on the way home. So eventually I had to go, I couldn't always pick her up. And she did have to drive herself back and forth, as crazy as that sounds. So the problem is with an alcoholic at that level, at a late stage 3 alcoholic, is extreme measures may not even work. And a lot of the times they just don't make it. I think my wife is a classic case. And I don't say these things lightly. People think I'm being nonchalant, but it's very hard at the time to talk about this. I mean, now it's been years and years, but it's very hard. And really, the last thing I failed to mention is that they actually put a breathalyzer in her car so she couldn't start it. It was in the ignition, so she had to blow into it, make sure she hadn't been drinking just to drive. And then she found workaways around that. One time she got our son to breathe into it, and that was the end of it. When that happened, I ended up actually taking the battery out of the car, and she never really drove it. I think probably the last year and a half of her life. I just had enough of that because it was just one problem after another, and it could have easily gone much worse, and the liability would have been off the charts. But on that note, again, I go live Monday through Friday, right around 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We also have the Facebook group. It's called There's an Alcoholic in the Family. Link is in the bio. Wonderful for a support group and for knowledge if you have an alcoholic in your family or if you are one yourself. And again, when you're ready to work with me one-on-one, the link to the coaching program, set up a Zoom call. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour. We do a deep dive into what's going on with you and your family, and we go over the program. I'm looking for people who are ready to change their lives and the lives of their family. And again, thanks so much for listening.